Good morning, guys. Good morning. So today's kind of a exciting day. I know the title is big news, but this is going to be this project of building the garage is going to be a while. This is just pretty much the first step. So I'm going to start a playlist for this, and then as I do updates, I'll add videos to the playlist of the progress of this. But basically what's going to happen today is I have a guy coming with a mini excavator, and he has the jackhammer attachment. So this hillside over here, which it's hard to see, but that's quite a big hillside, and it's all lava rock, and you see my really bad spray paint lines and stuff on there. He's going to be breaking up that wall. Let me flip this around. So he is going to be breaking up that wall and then building up the pad where the garage is going to be. So you see my string line here is just a really rough layout of where the garage pad will be. And then this will basically be kind of the front corner of the garage going down. And then I don't know what I did on that line. It was way crooked. I was walking backwards when I was painting it, so I guess I wasn't really watching. So basically all of this is going to get torn down to a certain point, which I have marked on the hill up there. I'll show in a second. He's going to take all that material and then build this pad up and also back. So it needs to go, which if you see that line there, it goes back another 5 feet, I guess, beyond this rear string line. And then over here, I'm going to be working on starting the retaining wall, which I was hoping to have this done yesterday, but I've already bought the bricks, but getting the bricks from Home Depot to my house is pretty difficult apparently, because Home Depot has no idea where their flatbed truck is or when it'll be back, and nobody can give me any answers, and you can't reserve it. So I'm working on getting the bricks here. But basically it's going to be a retaining wall that's going to come straight down here. It's going to kind of curve out this way where that line is, and then this will be, the pad will be on top of it. Eventually there will be concrete here, which will be the driveway, and then there will be concrete here, and there will be a walkway, sidewalk eventually that goes to the house there. So my FJ will no longer be parked there, obviously. There will be concrete that will go there, so there will be a walkway, and there may end up being like 1 or 2 stairs here, depending on what this level ends up being. And then future project, we're going to build a small greenhouse right here. So there will be the sidewalk, small greenhouse, and then on this side there will end up being a shed, because that'll get built before the garage gets built, so that I can move all that stuff, which I mentioned before, trying to get rid of that container, because that needs to get out of the way before we can bring in any material or cement truck or anything to do the garage. So over here, let me just show this real quick so you can get a little bit more of a, I guess, the elevation climb here. It's pretty good. I'd say it's probably, this is the highest point right here at the corner, and then it tapers off as it goes down towards the back there. So all of this will get ripped out today. There you go. So see where that line is? So he's going to basically rip from this line. The wall of the garage will probably end up being 2 feet in from that. And I'm going to do a cinder block wall, and then I'll backfill this once that wall is built. We'll see though. If he ends up taking this down enough that it can lower down, but there's a lot of weird elevation here. So, and he's also going to try to break up this rock pile a little bit here. So I cut some of the trees down there yesterday, and he's going to try and break up this rock pile, because eventually this is where I want to have a road going to the back, and then we're going to have paddocks here. You see the string line going all the way back. So the paddocks are going to be about 30 feet by 100 feet. And I want to have 3 of them here. And then we may end up putting 1 or 2 on this side, but we're going to leave this area just because the neighbor's house is over there. And then we'll put the paddock on the other side. That'll be where like the fruit forest is, and you know, if we end up getting more animals, I don't know. So basically that's going to be it. That's what's happening today. This is part 1 of the garage build. So like I was saying, this is going to be part 1 of the garage shop build. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe and like so that you can see the, I guess, future videos of this project and other projects that are going to be working on. And thanks for watching. This is just a quick time lapse showing me preparing the ground where the retaining wall blocks will be set. All right. It's not even 7:30 a.m. yet and I'm already getting tired. So that's just preparing to put the retaining block wall there. And by the way, if you want one of my awesome mugs, they're available on my website. It's a great way to support the channel. Alright, so I got some cinder laid down in here and I did a little bit of stamping. I'll be doing some more, probably adding a little bit more material. Basically what I want to try to do is to get all of this level and enough of a line that I can start stacking the bricks on here. And then eventually the bricks will have rebar going through them, and then the top of the pad, once the pad is poured, will actually go on top of these bricks. So it'll be a fully contained retaining wall unit. So the rebar that's going down through the bricks will tie into the pad once it's poured. Also, eventually, once the retaining wall is up, this space between the catchment tank and the retaining wall, I'm going to put concrete in here so that I have a concrete slab or a sidewalk all the way around the catchment tank. That'll just help to keep everything clear. This will be like a small project down the road that I can do myself. Once I get my cement mixer, I can just pour section. The retaining wall will curve right here, and then it's basically going to follow the catchment tank. So the retaining wall will follow the catchment tank all the way around over to there, and then over here is where the retaining wall will meet up with the hog fence that's going to come down here, which you see off in the distance. It's just around a tree right now, and once all that junk is gone. All right, so he's here. And then you see the big jackhammer attachment there on the front. So it's just interchangeable. But yeah, so this is a different guy, obviously. Taylor didn't have the jackhammer attachment, but I will put James's information in the description below as well. All right, so he's just about to get started. He just got the jackhammer hooked up back there, and he's getting ready to just start breaking stuff up. So he's gonna initially work on that berm, breaking that down, and then kind of leveling out that area. And then, let me turn the camera on. And then later on, if he has time, he's gonna start breaking up this big lava pile right here. So, took the strings down. I still haven't got my blocks because Home Depot's stupid. So yeah, that's what he's gonna start on. This is gonna be really loud, so I'm not really gonna film any of it or much of it. I do have my time-lapse camera going up there, so I'll have a good time-lapse hopefully. And I'll just do a couple updates here and there. Yeah. All right, so we're a couple of hours in here, and he's made pretty good progress on that wall, breaking it up. And then this is all of the broken up pieces, and then he'll break those up even smaller and then start spreading everything out. So, making good progress. Alright, so he has pretty much that whole wall broken down. You can see it's right up to the line that I painted. He's got it down to one layer, and then he's going to break apart that layer and then eventually start spreading everything. is really loud. But it's getting there. And then from up top you can see the line that I painted here, so it's all dug out to there. And then pretty much broken up all the way up to there. I don't have to go all the way to this line. I have a few feet leeway here. And that's the hammer. So he's breaking up this shelf that's right here. That's like the hardest part of the job so far. There was a lower level of lava here. Alright guys, this is the first time-lapse video, and in this video, this was on day one. James is just starting to break up the wall there, and he is going to be separating the rocks, different sizes, and then spreading it across the pad to build the pad up. Enjoy! We are about 4.5 hours working now. A lot of big rocks here. Alright guys, so this is where we ended up for today. Let me go to ultra wide. He basically separated the rocks. So all of these big rocks, they're coming off of this one shelf, lava shelf right here, which he's pretty much done with. There's just a little bit more like this little section that needs to be broken up. And then these rocks are just going to stay on the side. I'm going to use those down the road for something else. And then some of these smaller ones will end up getting used to fill and level this area. So when he comes back tomorrow, he's going to be breaking up these rocks and then leveling, pushing it back, and then leveling this whole area out. So that'll be it for today. We'll see where we get tomorrow. All right, so I have bricks here at the house. That was a fiasco. So when I was there on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. There was over 100 of these bricks, and I kept trying to get them to pull my order. For 2 days I was there. I ordered 45. So I go back this morning, which today is Friday, and I walk back to the garden department and all of the bricks are gone. Every one of them. There was at least 100, maybe a little over 100. And so I guess in the time that they couldn't pull my order, they managed to sell all the other bricks, and they only gave me 37 of the 45 that I already paid for. So good job, Home Depot. Now I got to start carrying these. All right, so I got my first course laid out here, and I'm just barely starting to come around this corner here. And then on the front, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough bricks, but if I end up having a couple extra, I will extend around that corner where I was originally planning to when I had 45 bricks coming. So I'm only about 8 bricks short, and I ordered a couple extra, so we'll see once I get this second course stacked where I'm at. And these bricks are pretty forgiving. So these are retaining wall bricks, and basically the way that they work is you stack them. There's these pegs, which you see up here are the fiberglass pegs. So these fiberglass pegs go in those holes, and then they line up in these holes on the next brick. So then you can just keep stacking them up. And then as you see the overhang here, how it goes, it's slightly overlapping. So when you get a stack of these, they're slowly going backwards, and that's where it gets the strength for the retaining wall. And then you fill all of these cavities with cinder or fill gravel or whatever. You could do it with cement even. And you can even pound rebar in here, which is what I plan on doing. I want to put rebar down through the center hole. So basically the rebar will go down through this hole. It'll have a 90-degree bend on the top, and then I'll fill this with cement. And then that piece of rebar will tie into the pad once the pad is poured. So then the pad will come out basically to the edge of this, and it'll cap all these bricks in the whole wall. And then this whole area is getting pretty leveled out, and then he's going to start breaking up these rocks, so it'll get a little bit flatter than that. But yeah, making good progress. All right guys, this is the second time lapse, and James has already broken down quite a bit of the wall, and he's just separating all the rocks by size and then starting to level everything out. And then you also can see me starting to set the wall with the retaining wall blocks. So enjoy. All right, guys, we are done. So it ended up being about 2 days, and he did about 6 hours each day, I think. So my retaining wall is up. This thing is pretty awesome. These blocks are 85 pounds each. And I had to carry all of them from over in the driveway where we pulled the trailer up all the way over to here. So that was a lot of work. But anyway, it's done. The next step for this is going to be backfilling, and then once I get my concrete mixer, I'm going to be filling these holes with concrete. You can see all the way down to the bottom brick there, and then there will be a piece of rebar in here that will go all the way down. This will all get filled. This will get filled. I'll probably put a board like across the back here, and then I'll put a cap on this whole thing, so this entire thing will just all be one solid piece. And then continue backfill. I'll have to get some gravel delivered, but you can see all the big rocks, and this is not completely level, but it's pretty close. This corner is still a little high right there. James is actually going to come back for a half day next week, or in 2 weeks, I think he said. I wasn't sure what day, but there's just a little bit more on this lava shelf that needs to be chipped away. So this is kind of really hard for it to show up on camera, but basically this shelf that's sticking out right here, it needs to be broken up back to, I don't know, another 6 inches or so. So that's basically 32 feet from the center of the retaining wall. So that'll give me enough for my 30-foot building. There will be a cinder block wall here, and then this will get backfilled. And then I'll have about a 2-foot walkway along the side of the building there. And then there will be a 2-foot walkway on the back side of the building that's going to be part of the slab. That way the vegetation and stuff doesn't grow back there, and I can get back there and like trim this stuff out if I need to. But yeah, pretty awesome. I have a huge pile of boulders over there that I can use for other stuff, and some of those are pretty damn big. That one right there, this is one big boulder right there, and when he picked that thing up, it made his excavator almost tip. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so that's going to wrap up this video. Let me turn the camera around. All right, so that is part 1 of my garage / shop build. Please bear with me, because this is going to be a longer process than I want it to be, but there's going to be some more fill-in work that's going to happen with this retaining wall, the concreting there. I'm going to have to get a couple loads of gravel delivered, and then I can start doing the forms for the slab, and then get the slab poured. But that's going to take a while. The slab, just for the concrete alone, is going to be about $3,400 for roughly 14 to 15 yards of concrete, which is what I calculated it's going to take for this. So we're trying to do this with cash, trying not to, take loans or charge up credit cards too much. So it may take us a little while to save up enough money to do the concrete. So this may stretch out for several months. I'm not sure, but like I said, just bear with me. And believe me, I want to get this built as soon as possible so I can start blacksmithing, have a nice space to put all my stuff, get rid of the container, like a lot of stuff tied into it. But, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It will really help me out if I can build up my channel a little bit. Like the videos, and come back and watch more. I'm gonna have more videos. I have several more projects that are in the pipeline. Even though this one is gonna probably be delayed for a little bit, I got a lot of other stuff going on. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Aloha.